Hey guys, how's it going? It is Saturday afternoon and just felt kind of the calling to do a reading. I don't know why those things are in my sound bowl, but okay. I don't know why, but we're going to start with some sound this morning, or this afternoon, I guess, whichever it is. But let's clear the energies. My bowl was not doing what I want it to do. There we go. Okay, move that out the way. I know, weird start to our reading today, but hey, you know, everything about the reading is not just the cards. It's the things that happen when I'm talking. And I was actually going to do it yesterday. I kind of promised you guys I would do it, and then I didn't do it. So I apologize about that. It was a rough day yesterday. But I think what we're going to do is after the reading, I will go ahead and kind of explain it, like explain the synchronicities that happen while I'm doing the reading, because everything means something, guys. So, you know, if something falls, something doesn't work right, I do something different, whatever, there's a message in it for someone somewhere. Might not be yours, might be someone else's, but I go back and watch the readings after I'm done, and I always get something else out of it. And, you know, I can see where I've made connections without articulating that to you guys. So maybe today we're going to try a reading of the reading. We'll see what happens. Anyway, we're going to use the Astromatrix Tarot today, and I haven't used it in a while, so we're going to go ahead and shuffle 3 times. Hope you guys had a good week, and everyone is doing well. I know in California they're getting some snow in Apple Valley, which is kind of cool. I think Connecticut is due for some snow, which is nice. That Albuquerque is not. It seems like everywhere I have just been, it gets inundated with snow. So apologies if I've manifested that for you, because I really, when I was in Connecticut, really just wanted to make a snowman with my grandkids, and it never did happen, but that's okay. No worries. There's a story about the snowman that I like to tell, where it's about letting things go, right? So, I mean, if you think about when you were little and you build a snowman, you know, get everything out there, you get the scarf and the coal and the carrot for the nose and the whole 9 yards, and you put in all this time and effort and energy into building the snowman, right? And you appreciate it, you know, and it sits out there for probably a couple days, you know, depending on the weather, whatnot. And then eventually it melts. And if you think about it, from when you were a kid, you weren't really sad when it melted, right? Because you're not really thinking about losing it. You're just remembering how much fun it was to build it. So I use that as an example of how we're supposed to let things go, right? Things aren't meant to last forever. Some things are, you know, and some things are not. And it's not up to us to decide that. It's up to God. So there's that. Anyway, a little story there for you. I don't know why I felt the need to say that, but there it is. So let's get the current energies for today. I think today's reading is going to be a little more shadow work, you guys. Not that all of my readings aren't, but this one's going to be a little different, I feel like. The other thing too is we're going back to the old video format. I don't like the new video format, so there's that. So we've got the 7 of Swords. What are you deceiving yourself about? 7 of Swords is deceit. It can be thievery. It can be robbing yourself of your own blessings. I see the moon down here. So something's being revealed. I think this symbol here is Aquarius. I could be wrong, but I think it's Aquarius energy. Anyway, I mean, look at him. He's a pirate, right? So what do pirates do? They pilfer and plunder and whatever it is that they do, and they steal. And when you think about the Seven of Swords from a shadow work perspective, it is literally deceiving yourself. What are you robbing yourself of? What swords are you carrying with you? What thoughts? You know, swords represent thoughts and words. So what swords and thoughts and words are you carrying with you to, it looks like even to protect himself, right? And I'm just noticing that there's two sitting here, like in the background. They're just kind of sitting there like, okay, yeah, we're here, but he's only carrying 5 with him. He's not even taking everything with him, right? So maybe that is letting things go, but maybe you're meant to let all 7 go. Deceiving yourself somehow. He looks almost sinister. Look at that. He's like happy about it. Like it's revenge. And if you think about revenge, revenge doesn't do anything to the other person. It does something to you. It creates your karma. You know, you getting revenge on someone else is only going to perpetuate that being taken out on you. You know, forgive others and forgive yourself and let things go. Let you know, like the snowman, let it go. Just let it go. Let it go. Elsa, the Snow Queen, you know, let it go, let it go. Anyway, yeah, you don't want to hear me sing. That's the current energies. There's some sort of deception going on with yourself. And it could be another person. I'm not saying it's not, but it could be people being deceitful around you. Maybe their energies are not the most ethical. Maybe they're saying one thing and they've got a manipulative baseline for whatever it is they're doing. Make sure you're not doing this. This is something that's real easy to do, guys. It's not that it's sinister, it's that it's just a habit, right? So put yourself on blast about that. Keep yourself in check. Make sure you're not being manipulative. Make sure you're ethical. Keep your word impeccable and whatnot. Tell me about the 7 swords. Tell me about the 7 swords. My decks. What the heck? All right, tell me about the 7 swords. Tell me about the 7 swords. Oh, we didn't see. That's how deceitful it is. This is one of those times. This is what I mean, guys, what I was talking about earlier. The card doesn't even want to jump out. So we're not wanting to see anything about the 7 of Swords. We don't want to know what it is. You know, it's comfortable. When we're comfortable, we don't want to change. Good, bad, or otherwise, it's comfortable. You know, we know how bad it can get, and we know we can survive it. So tell me about the 7 of Swords. All right, come on. Come on, tell me about the 7 of Swords. What are you guys hiding? What do you not want to see? Tell me about the 7 of Swords. Wow. No, I'm sorry. I'm going to dig. Tell me about the 7 of Swords. Tell me about the 7 of Swords. Tell me about this 7 of Swords. Thank you. Temperance in reverse. Well, that doesn't surprise me at all whatsoever. Temperance is keeping your temper, right? So in reverse, it's this is like that storm of reaction, if you will. It's the disruptive energy. It's chaos. It's that just all of that. How can I explain it? It's that rattled, you know, that reaction that you're not, maybe you're just not allowing it. Maybe you're angry and you're just like, no, you know, I'm all love and light. That's called toxic positivity, guys. When you have negative feelings, you need to let yourself feel those. And hang on, let me close the door because the music in the background is really loud. Sorry about that. Okay, that's another thing, right? Chaos. The music in the background was kind of scattering my energy a little bit. So temperance in reverse. Look at this cauldron, right? And the lion and the eagle. Okay, so let's talk about that. The lion represents strength. Eagle represents seeing things from a higher perspective. So when we allow chaos to overtake our emotions, when we react, or we don't allow ourselves to feel what we're feeling, then we're giving up our strength. We're giving up our power. We're seeing things not from the higher perspective, but from that lower perspective. You know, her cup is filling, it's emptying, right? She's emptying her cup into this cauldron, and then it's being shot back at her. So what energies have you put out that are now coming back to you that maybe you don't even realize were yours to begin with? I feel like that's what that's saying. You know, was there chaos that you created that you don't think you did, that seems to be coming back, and you kind of have that victim mentality of, you know, why is this happening? What is going on? I don't deserve this, blah, blah, blah. But what did you do? You know, really think, really dig deep on that one and see, you know, did you create it somewhere along the line that it needs to be returned to you? And then when it is returned, maybe you just let it die there, right? Because if you keep it going and it's an eye for an eye, an eye for an eye, an eye for an eye, then it just continues. The wheel of karma keeps spinning and spinning and spinning. You have to control your temper, your temperance. You have to temper your emotions for these things to stop, right? How do you temper your emotions? Well, you know, it's emotional regulation. A lot of us were never taught how to do that. And emotional regulation is being able to feel overwhelmed, to feel stressed out, and still yet continue to do the things you need to do. Allowing those feelings to happen, but don't let them stop you. Don't let them, what is the word I'm looking for? It's, don't let them bind you and restrict you and let it be a hindrance to your forward movement. Okay, those energies are going to happen, guys, and it's okay. And maybe you stop for a minute and you let yourself feel it, but then you get up and you move on, much like that snowman. You know, you let it melt, let it go. Tell me about temperance. Tell me about temperance. Tell me about temperance. What is this chaos? What is this chaos that is happening? Oh, and the card falls on the ground. So there you go. You know what? It's the moon. It is a lack of clarity. It's things that are hidden, not understanding. And those of you that know me know that the moon card always represents shadow work to me. But this one doesn't look like shadow work. This one looks like a lobster. Why is that lobster jumping out at me? I don't know. So, you know what's funny? I was just talking to a friend of mine who said she can't stand lobster because it is literally like the cockroach of the sea. And she was at a restaurant with her husband, and you know, they were doing the I think it was Valentine's Day, an anniversary or something. Anyway, lobster bisque was the soup of the day or whatever. And of course she ordered it thinking, you know, let me just go ahead and get the fanciest thing, schmancy, blah, blah, blah. And she tasted it and she spit it out on the floor because she thought it was awful. And, you know, one man's lobster is another man's, I don't know, cockroach of the sea, I guess. I personally love lobster. I think it's great. I think it's what I get when I want to treat myself, right? It's that expensive. It's expensive on the menu for sure, but it is, you know, some people just don't like it. So the value of that lobster isn't in the lobster. It's in what we feel about it. We put the value on it. You know, its value itself doesn't change, but we can change its value by our supply and demand. Think about this whole egg situation we have going on in the country now, where, you know, eggs are like, I don't know, $35 a freaking dozen. The eggs didn't change, guys, but the supply changed. The demand changed. You know, the toilet paper thing back in COVID. Toilet paper didn't change. You know, people could buy a bidet and get over it, but it's that supply and demand. And now, is that supply and demand an actual thing, or is it a created thing? And that's what the moon, you know, the moon is not shading, it's masking. There's another coinky dink, right? We're just talking about COVID, and then I say it's masking. But it's things that you don't understand yet. It's still in the darkness of night. It's you know, you're getting little clues about what is happening here, but you don't really see the full picture yet. Okay, and then you've got the wolf and you've got the dog. That could be indicative of light and dark, could be shadow work. You've got the two buildings here that they're pretty symmetrical, not exactly, but I mean, they're kind of a mirror image. And it's looking at how anything can be good and anything can be bad. Just like that lobster. It can be a cockroach, or it can be, you know, a diamond. Who knows? but it's in your reaction to the thing, right? Because we asked about temperance. It's how you react to it that's going to give it its value. It's going to give it the meaning. It's going to give it the revelation of what that thing means to you. And I think we talked about this one time recently, where if it's historical, if it's hysterical, then it's historical, right? If it triggers you to the point where your reaction doesn't match the situation, guys, that's a clue that you're reacting to not what is happening now, but what has happened in the past. And it's kind of like that energy feels the same. So your brain kind of goes into a time machine, if you will, and then you start reacting to the old thing that you never really healed. And when it's hysterical, when you're overreacting, that's what that means. You know, visit it, feel it, heal it. What is it that we're not seeing? What is this thing that we're not seeing? What messages, what is that needs to be revealed that we just don't want to see? You know, when you pair that with the Seven of Swords, it's literally, I don't want to see it. You know, let me make a different meaning out of it. What is it that we don't want to see? You don't want to tell, man, these cards are tight-lipped today. What is it you don't want to see? What is it you don't want to see? Just show us. It's not scary. We'll handle it. We'll handle it. Tell me about this moon. What are we trying not to reveal? What are we trying not to see? What are we masking? What are we not allowing ourselves to see? Let's do it that way. What's not being seen? What can't be revealed? What can't be revealed? I'm gonna be patient. You know, a lot of times with people, guys, you gotta be patient and meet them where they're at. And the card still doesn't want to be revealed, but we're gonna force it. King of Pentacles. So King of Pentacles is the king of his resources. He is ruling over his land. He's making sure everybody gets what they need, not necessarily what they want. Right? He's that's kind of a funky King of Swords, I'm not gonna lie. And look at the bulls. Look at the bulls. Look at the Taurus gang in there. Go with your bad self, Taurus. And the moon in the middle. You know, there's two Taurus. So there's a light and a dark. And it doesn't necessarily mean that here. I don't see that it's light and dark, but that's what intuitive hit I just got from that. Holding his scepter, holding his shield, but his shield is his pentacle. He's protecting himself because he does have resources. He knows where to get those resources. They don't need to be money. You know, you guys know I hate that Pentacles is always about money. It's not. Sometimes it's just the resources. You know, you need money to buy food, but you could also plant a garden. So there's that, you know, being practical about it. Maybe if you have a limited amount of money and you stretch your dollar out of 99 cents, you know, that's that King of Pentacles energy. Understanding how to be resourceful, how to stretch things out, how to get everybody what they need without putting yourself in the poorhouse to do it. And that's what you don't see, guys. You have everything you need. There is nothing that's going to stop you from moving forward as long as you have that faith. You know, slow and steady wins the race. Let me open this door for the dog who's freaking out. Sorry, guys. Little interruption there. But you know what you have. You know things are going to be there when you need them. You don't need to see them there. You don't need to have a promise of that rose garden, but you plant it and you know it's there. You don't need the garden to come back and say, oh, I promise I'm going to give you roses back. No, you planted the seed. You know it's coming. That's what that energy is all about. And that's what you don't see. That's what you're refusing to see. That's what you are deceiving yourself about. You keep in this energy of lack. And I don't mean to sound like I'm being accusatory by saying you. I should be saying we. But hold on. Dog again. Are you done? Thank you. In or out? In or out? And that's this energy too, guys. I mean, we're in, we're out. We're in, we're out. We ebb and flow. We're going to be in good days and bad days. We're going to have days where we're in our high vibing self and we trust everything and the safety net's going to be there and whatnot. And then there's days that we don't feel that way. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. We're human. And sometimes it's hidden from us. And sometimes we get upset about it. Sometimes we get chaotic about it. And we try to deceive ourselves about it. But be aware of it. If you're aware of it, then it doesn't have to be a thing anymore. All right? So tell me about these resources. What is it? Oh, quick. Queen of Wands. Ooh. So there's a reader on YouTube, Steve's Love Tarot. He's hysterical. I love him. I just listened to one of his readings for this week. And he refers to the Queen of Wands as Fakey McFakerman. She's the one that is deceitful. She's the one that is puts on a fake front, if you will, right? And again with the lions and the strength and the mirroring of it, right? Guys, we've got the lion here, we've got the mirroring here, we've got the mirroring here, and now we've got the mirroring here. And that almost looks like a face. You know, when I pull it back like that, it's like it could be a face up there at the top. And then the feathers are, no, those aren't feathers. I think those are still spears, but she is holding a sunflower. And there's 2 sunflowers down here, and then we've got the strength. We've got 4 strength cards here, guys. A lot of Leo energy and a black cat. So black cats are protection. Protect yourself from deceiving yourself. I mean, we started with deceit, we ended with deceit, right? Literally. Even when, so this is the obvious deceit. This one's subtle. You don't even realize you're deceiving yourself in this one. I'm actually going to read the Queen of Wands because now I'm just stuck on Steve's Fakey McFakerman, which makes me laugh. So Queen of Wands in the traditional tarot is feisty, confident, mastery, self-assured. Are you? Are you really self-assured? Are you really confident? Or are you faking that confidence? The universe knows. The universe will know the difference. You can't fake the universe. You cannot deceive the universe. God knows your heart, right? God knows your heart. I think I said that to someone this morning. We were talking about a personal situation of mine where I said, you know what? She knows my heart, and that's all that matters. And really it is. I mean, why put on a front for other people? You know, and that's what she does. That's what this Queen of Wands does. She's putting on the front. Oh, let me just appear one way and then be something completely different. Look at her feet. They're hidden and they're pointing away from the viewer of the card. So if you know anything about human behavior, when you're talking to someone and they point their feet away from you, and it's a subconscious thing. I think it was Vanessa Van Edwards in her book Cues that talks about this. And we all do it subconsciously, and you'll catch yourself doing this. Like, take notice of this. But when you're kind of done with the conversation, your feet will point away from the person you're talking to. And it's kind of a subconscious cue to their subconscious that we're done talking now. Like, it's time to end the conversation. Let's wrap it up. Now, if you know those things, those tells, if you will, like in the poker world, you can capitalize on them. And this is what she does. She knows what's up. So, you know, sometimes it's good to have that energy. Sometimes good to have that knowledge and manipulate yourself, trick yourself, you know, fake it till you make it. It's not necessarily a bad thing. You know, we've spent our whole lives being conditioned to be a certain way, and it's not a healthy way. So it's going to take that uncomfortable faking it to create the healthy way of being. It's not a bad thing. It's just uncomfortable. Remember, we talked about the shower thing yesterday, the cold shower thing. Not a comfortable place to be, but you got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. So, I mean, if you think about it, as a child, you were conditioned to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, which is why unhealthy behaviors feel so normal to you. So now you just have to undo it. You just do it backwards. Everything is backwards. You guys have heard me say that 1,000,000 times. So let's get an oracle card to finish up. I don't know which oracle card I want to use. You know what? I bought these for my grandkids, and then I took them out there, and I did not leave them out there for whatever reason. But being that I'm kind of being, I don't know, that childlike playful energy today, let's get one of these cards for our advice for today. I know, I'm goofy. What can I say? I'm batshit crazy. You guys love it. You know you do. All right, give me some advice for today. Give me some advice so that we can get through this self-deceit, get through this revelation, fake it till we make it type situation. Give me some advice for today. There we go. we have, no matter what you look like or think you look like, you're special and loved and perfect just the way you are. And that kind of ties into our fakey McFakerman over here, guys. It doesn't matter what other people think. It doesn't matter what their opinion of you is. It's none of your business. You be exactly you. And that's what standing in your truth is. And when you can see yourself in that mirror for what you truly are and appreciate and love it, then it won't matter what other people think. And really, that's the true message there. Quit deceiving yourself. Their thoughts and their opinions about you are not the truth. Find your truth. Find your confidence. Find your worth within yourself, because you don't need it from anywhere outside. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it there. I love you so, so much. We'll talk soon. Love and light. Hey, guys. So, as promised, we're going to talk about the reading that you just watched. So, if you notice, in the beginning, I kind of started the reading very different from normal. I had a symbol that wouldn't sing for me. And then I had cards that wouldn't drop for me. And in the middle of the reading, we got the moon, which was, that which we didn't want to see, which was being hidden from us. And even in the first card, if you notice, the Seven of Swords, at the bottom of the card, we saw the moon, right? So the moon is, it's things that don't want to be revealed. And throughout the reading, if you notice, the cards not wanting to come out, the chaos of the background noise of the music and whatnot, it all played into the reading, right? So you might want to go back and kind of watch it again with different eyes and not necessarily pay attention to the cards or what I'm saying, but pay attention to the background of it, right? We have contrast in our lives, and it's the backdrop of night that allows us to see the stars, right? So if you're watching a reading, and maybe not even just my readings, any readings that you're going to watch rather, pay attention to everything in it, right? The whole reading was about deceiving yourself and not seeing things for the way they truly were, and the fakey McFakerman at the end, and putting on this false front. And maybe there's people in your life that are doing that, just like the reading said and whatnot. But what in the reading was indicative of that? Did the whole reading reflect that, right? The dogs, usually my dogs are in and out of my room all the time, and for some reason this time I closed my door, and I had to get up a couple times and let the dog in and out. Well, I never closed my door. So now you've got the singing bowl that wouldn't sing, the closed door, the moon at the beginning and the moon in the middle. So, I mean, you're really being told by spirit here, like, you are really closing yourself off to these messages. You don't want to see it. And it's not a bad thing, okay? I'm going to give you a good example. I was talking to a friend of mine this morning, and, she had some stuff happen, and the things were not her fault. She was kind of at the source of it, but the events as they played out were out of her control. But yet she had this guilt for it, because she wouldn't open the door to see all of it. And I don't mean this in a bad way. And Christy, if you're watching, I'm so sorry, but it was a good thing for me to hear, right? And a lot of times these readings are for me too, guys. I go back and I watch them, and I'll get something new. I watch readings from months ago, and I'll get something new out of it. And it's pay attention to what happens in it, right? I pay attention to what happens leading up to it and after it. I'm here, so I saw it, I felt it, I can navigate it a little better. But the other thing was with the Temperance card, right? The Temperance card, all about that chaos of emotions, right? I had to get up. I had to keep letting the dog in and out. The music in the background, which is never happening, was kind of throwing me off my game a little bit. Because you get that, you guys get that when you're trying to focus on something and all of this background noise distractions. And then you can even tie that into yesterday's reading, where it was all distractions, and then towards the end of the reading today, it was about, other people's opinions are not your business, right? What they think of you shouldn't mean anything. And that is really the deception, right? That was the reading right there. if you have a situation going on in your life and you assume somebody is mad at you for a certain reason, or you have a guilt or whatever, or it's creating guilt, you know, which came first, the chicken or the egg, it's not for you, right? Maybe the way they think of you is the way that they're not wanting to see themselves. And when we stand in our truth, do you remember the card from yesterday with the knight with the reflections? It's none of our business. It's not up to us to tell them, but it's not up to us to take and be the scapegoats that we've been made to feel like we are our entire lives. Guys, it's that time is over, right? We were conditioned to always believe that things are our fault. We were conditioned to believe that the chaos and the lack of information is our fault. And actually, now that I just said it that way, when you don't know why a person is acting the way they're acting, we've been conditioned to think it's our fault. So we ruminate about it, and we try to come up with, well, what did I do? What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? You know what? You didn't do anything wrong. Quit deceiving yourself. It is not your fault. Bottom line, it's just not your fault. And people make their own choices, and they end up wherever they're going to end up as a result of their choices. You end up where you end up because of the result of your choices. It's nobody else's fault. Quit blaming other people and quit letting other people blame you. Okay? Go back and rewatch the reading. I'm going to do the same, see if I can get a few more clues out of it. But I just wanted to kind of follow up with you guys and let you know, these readings are not just about the words and the cards. Pay attention to what happens in the background. All right, guys, much love and light. We'll talk soon.